Good morning, or whatever time it is where you are today. I've decided to come out this morning for two reasons. The reason you all know about, what's happening around these parts, especially with the big cat sightings. Because we know with big cats, when they're hungry, they'll lunch more or less at dawn. So I'm going up to an high point today, just on the other side of Winter Hill, not far from where I live. And I'm going to set my camera up, having it facing over the field, in case there's any movements. It's getting a bit darker. With the light, you can't see me as much. It will go dark in a sec, because I'm going to be leaving the street lamps behind me and going further up onto the moors where it's very dark. What I want to do, like I say, is I brought a couple of cameras with me this morning. One, I'm going to have a time lapse facing over the field while the sun's coming up. Hopefully, if it does come up, or should I say it will come up, but hopefully it'll not be that foggy. I want to get that. Oh, they're up early as well. I want to get that really. I want to get the sun coming up and a time lapse, so you can see what I'm going to be looking out at. With the other camera, it's going to be facing over the fields, because I'm going to be at an high point and looking down over Bolton. Hopefully it's going to get all the fields in front before it gets to the woods, and we'll see if we can capture any movements of anything up there. The other reason is I just want to come out, have a look round the area as well. I'm talking quietly now because there's a dog walker in front. I wasn't expecting anyone else around with me this morning. But yeah, again, I am on just before you get onto the moors, a little housing estate here. So it's only understandable we're going to get people getting ready for work and going out. So yesterday, speaking of work, yesterday I was on my way to work, and the area I come to before I get to work, it goes down into a little valley, and the mist around there, it was just rolling along this field in a valley. I took some photos. So as you can see, I want to get that same effect, but looking over Bolton. We'll see how it turns out. Now in a second, we are going to be leaving these lights behind. And then that's it then, darkness. So you probably won't see me until I'm up on the moors, which will take me another 20 minutes to get up there. As you can see, it's getting darker now because that behind me is the last street lamp before we get to the dark area without any lights. So the time now is about 5:15. So now it's getting very dark, and I will see you when I get up there, because this morning I haven't brought a torch with me, only lighting, and the dog walker in front, which is he's got a torch. So I'm going to catch up to him and have a chat to see whether he's heard or seen anything unusual around here while he's been walking his dog this early in the morning. Well, you're in luck, because I put my hand in my pocket and I found my torch that fits onto the camera. So now you can see me, but the reason I've stopped here is because behind me, which you can't see at all, is a field. Now, across the field it is a wooded area, and it actually looks like there's somebody running around with a torch. It looks like two people have got a torch and they're actually running around with it, but they're running very fast. They're running around the trees. Now I'm going to go over there. I'm going to be walking past that bit, and I'm going to see what I can see, whether there's somebody camping in them woods. If not, then I don't understand what this is, because it's like two lights from the distance, about that big. They're moving in between the trees. Now one's going one way and then coming back on itself, but they're moving pretty fast, as though there's somebody in them woods running. Now I know within them woods over there you can't run around because the ground is too uneven. Anyone running that fast would actually fall over. But why would somebody, at nearly about 5 o'clock in the morning, be out there, two people running around in the woods with torches? So I'm going to head that way and I'm going to see what I can find out. You can't see much here, but these are the woods, which is not focusing at all because it's so dark. But these are the woods the lights were coming from, and I can't see anything in there. And make it brighter. That's it. No, there's nothing in there at all. It's strange. What could that have been? There's no fires where anyone could be having a fire. I'm hoping by the time we get to where I need to get to, it's stopped raining, because I don't want to get the camera equipment wet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick walk through these woods and see whether there's any tents in there. It's strange. I wonder what that was. That's me with a torch at the moment to see whether I can pick up anything, but no, nothing at all. Well, I can't see proper. I'm not very good at seeing in this darkness without any torch, and this light I've got isn't very good for to watch where I'm walking. And I've come to a bit of a dip here. It's going down from these leaves right down to there, so I've got to be careful. So what I'm going to do is on my way back, because I've got to come back this way when it's light, is have a look in these woods and see whether I can see any evidence of anyone camping out. I was hoping for better weather, but as you can see, it's beginning to rain, so I don't know what to do. It looks as though I might have to make my way back down, because the fog has got even thicker as I've got up here. So I'm not going to be able to make any sunrise or any good videos with the sunrise coming up. I was hoping like a layer of fog, the sun coming up, and you're seeing like the fog moving across the land. But after yesterday, but when I looked at the weather, like always, you look at a weather app or you look online at the weather and it's going to tell you it's going to be fine. And then you get up here and this is what you get. You know, it's so unpredictable around this area as well. So I'm not going to be able to get my camera equipment out. I've got it all on my back here because the cameras are... my foot in there, gone wrong. the cameras are too expensive to get out and get wet. At the moment, I'm using my phone to record this on, with a bit of lighting coming from it there and some off the floor, so you can see me proper as I'm talking. So where I am is I'm right at the top, a lookout point going all the way towards Bolton, Bury, Manchester. You can see all them areas from here. You can hear cars going past, the early commuters going past, and every so often you get a truck, 2 or 3 trucks coming along here, which are from Armstrong's quarry a bit further down the road. I just spooked someone who got out of the car to take the dog for a walk. Luckily, I shouted out, said, I was here, because I was here in the dark, just stood here, just looking down towards where I will be walking in a bit, walking through them woods where the lights were shining. But I really don't know what to do. I mean, it's yeah, you can see the rain, but it's not heavy rain. I am feeling a bit damp, but I'm feeling hot as well because it's a warm morning. You can't really see my breath. I can a teeny bit myself, but I did bring coffee with me to sit up here and wait. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about was I've been getting a lot of emails from people talking about ley lines and how I look for ley lines and what I do. So what I have been doing within the last about 3 to 4 weeks, I've been going out doing a bit of dowsing, and I've been recording it as well while we've been out. Me and Cooch have been out using the dowsing rods, but using the rod in the car and asking it which direction should we go. And we've come to a place where I won't say too much because I will be putting this video out, and it will be about an hour's long, this journey, but it's taken just over 3 weeks to do. And this morning, once I've finished here, hopefully things will clear up, and we're going to go where we started at the beginning of that video, and what we were doing at the beginning of that video. So we're sort of like going from there and ending back there and seeing where it takes us from there. Because, like I said, we follow the rod wherever that takes us. But it's funny how it's taking us to the same person, should I say, every time we go to a different place. And that's all I can say about it. This little project, what we're doing, I'm going to be doing more of these as the time goes on. So I've give it a name. I've give it the Pathfinders project, because that's what we're doing. We're following a path and we're finding out different things when we follow that path, going from A to B, but using a dowsing rod to take us from A to B. So I've just realised then, as I was waffling away, that the battery on the mic just went on me. But I don't think I need any lighting now, so I can take the lighting away. And you can see the fog behind, and you can't see the sun coming up, but you can see the fog. I am thinking I might get the camera out because it's very, very dry at the moment. And set it up on here, facing out that way. Yeah, this is a new camera, what I've got, and it's actually a vlogging camera, but it's got all sorts of settings on it, which isn't too bad. I don't want to put that on the floor, I don't want that getting wet. So I've set this up, put it on there, and see what sort of things we can get. And the sun's not come up yet, it's just getting light. It will be surfacing about 7:15. Got a nice wide angle lens on here. Got birds flying around in front of me. I'll see what I can get there. Nice cheap little camera. Not too bad. So I'm hoping it does pick up quite well. Oh yeah, it should pick up. The sun coming up. I mean, it's making it look quite blue for some reason, but it is picking up. And I shall put that on time lapse. And see what we pick up. So that is now time lapsing what we can see over there. Now I'm not so sure on the quality of this because it's looking quite blue. I've not got the settings quite right, I don't think. It's I should have had a play with it before bringing it out, but I've got it on its normal settings, but on time lapse. So hopefully we get some good footage over the field there. No, I'm not going to risk getting my other camera out because that is way too expensive to just have out in the damp. If there's if that gets damp at all, I will. Like I said before, I'll be very upset, and I don't want that to happen. The 15th of November. It's a foggy morning. It's quite nice and warm. And now there's no traffic. It's just great coming up here because I can hear all the birds waking up now, and they're flying around me. I'm hoping you just caught that as it passed. But they are quite nice to hear at this time in the morning. And even if we don't see anything else, it's quite nice to look around here. I'm just looking at that camera there, you know, as it's recording, and it's quite blue. So these settings, I'm hoping I've got the right settings for it to make it look good. If not, another learning curve. I've just got to read the instructions really first before I start using them, and get used to them before I start taking any footage. Yeah, I'd like to talk about my thoughts on the disclosure movements at the moment and all what's going on over in America. And my mind is different than what most people think. You know, I'm quite on the conspiritual side of things. You know, I believe that what we're being fed, and I mean fed at the moment, to make us think a certain way, isn't all true, what we're getting from media, especially concerning the UAP side of things and all this disclosure. When I'm listening to this sort of stuff, I always think a little bit beyond. And I think, you know, you get all these people who put themselves out there. When it comes to disclosure and what we're being fed by the media, and all these people who come forward who supposedly have worked for the CIA, MI5, all these other agencies, I start thinking, these people who are just showing up, you know, who's behind them? Who's letting them get away with coming out with what they come out with? Because we have certain people, whistleblowers, who come forward with certain bits of evidence. We hear that something bad has happened to them. something, what they've done to themselves, to be no longer here. Now, it's strange with certain people that they can come forward and say whatever they want, and we still don't get the truth of everything that's going on. I believe we're being fed certain lies. There's people within the UFO community who believe everything that's coming from our governments. Now, I don't believe half of the stuff that we're told, and we know there's lots of things that happened in 2020 and onwards that we were being fed a lie about certain things, that people were going to the doctors and having certain serums put into them that have now, we've found out, are causing health problems, fertility problems. And I can't say so too much on YouTube, and I can't say too much because it could upset a few people. And I'm not here to upset people, I'm just here to put my points across. But I think we are being lied to by the governments, not only us in the UK, but in other countries as well. We're being told certain things that feed us to think a certain way. And I think we've got to use our own common sense to understand really what's going on. We've been lied to for a very long time. And we've got to start thinking for ourselves and thinking about what is being told. Now, I have not watched TV for a long time, mainstream TV. I got rid of my TV, I think, in around 2002, and I don't watch mainstream. If anything, I watch what I want to watch, and I'll watch things what I can learn from. And yeah, even within that field of what a lot of people call the truth movement, even in that field, we've got disinformation being thrown to us there. It's been infiltrated by the same people who sort of run the mainstream media. And I think people are now beginning to understand what's going on. People are understanding the world a lot more these days. And they're realising that we've had the wool pulled over our eyes for a long, long time. And I know this is a little bit different than what I usually do, but I think sometimes people are lost because things are happening around them, and they're coming to an understanding that, yeah, maybe we're being lied to. Maybe life should be a lot different than what it is, and we're being led down a certain path in a certain way. We know that there's something out there that is guiding humanity into a certain way of thinking and a certain agenda. I became awake to all this in about 2002 onwards, and I was looking into all sorts of things, and I were, like looking into David Icke, and a lot of it is conspiracies and his thoughts and other people connected to him. And I went down this rabbit hole of thinking, that all what were being said at the time was true. And I know a lot of people are waking up to this and understanding what's going on. But at the moment, this movement, I believe, has been infiltrated, And there's a lot of people out there who are coming out with ideas and thoughts that aren't true. But people are jumping onto that bandwagon. You get to a point where you start using your intuition and understanding what is right and what is wrong, and what they, them, or whatever are telling us is the right way to think or the wrong way to think. If you speak out of term and you say the wrong thing and they're shutting you down, then are we saying the right thing really? Because it's these people who are at the top who are dictating to what we've got to say, what we can say and what we can't say. And who gives them the right? Who gives them the right really to say, we can't say this and we can't say that? You know, we're having our freedoms taken away from us, our right of speech taken away from us. And yeah, I'm saying all this and being open about it and giving my thoughts. And I think there's a lot of people out there with this same thought, because the more people I talk to about this, they're waking up. They're waking up to what's really going on. And I think there's a big revealing and a lot of people coming forward and understanding what's going on. I'm going to stop there and leave it with you and let you think about all this, what I've been talking about. Anyway, after all that waffling, I'm going to stay up here a good half hour now, just while I'm capturing more, and I can see that we're not going to get any rolling fog. I think it's just going to be stuck in here. We've got people coming into the car park now, getting a few funny looks because I'm stood here talking to you. There we go, we've got a first dog walking this morning. It's going off into the distance, now that's where I'll be heading in a while. In fact, it's that nice this morning up here. I might leave it for another half hour before setting off, because the fog seems to be dispersing a little bit. That's dog walking number 2. Getting to be a bit busy around here now. So I've just left the car park behind me, or where I stood at the top of this track, and I'm making my way back down now, but going through the woods. And I will be not far from where the lights were that I saw earlier on this morning as I was walking up. So I'll be looking for any evidence of anyone who was in this area, or who should still be in this area, because if they were camping out last night, they should be getting their stuff together now and moving on. Let's see if that's what these lights were, because they were quite strange how they were sort of darting in and out of the trees, moving around. I wish I could have captured it, but we'll see when we get down there. We'll see if there's any evidence of people camping out. I've taken a few photos this morning on one of my cameras, but I did notice it's getting a bit damp. I will be walking into. That's the direction I've just come from. This morning I walked up a road in that direction. So these are the trees that I can see in the distance this morning. And this is where the lights were moving around. And I can't see any sign of anyone camping in here. Now I suppose anyone running around here in the early morning with torches doesn't seem feasible of an idea. I mean, the ground, yeah, I suppose you could run round, but why would you do it when it's dark with torches flitting around the trees? There's no sign of anyone camping around here. There's a bit of a field there in front. There's nothing there. Now if I walk round these woods, there's a fence here. So it's not really a big wood where I've just walked in from to this fence. So I can't imagine anyone running around here at 4:45 this morning, I think I said it was. Can't remember now, I've been out so long. No, I can't imagine anyone running through this. With a torch at that time, and looking now, it's not a big wood. It's only small. You come to another field in front of me now, and I've not walked that far. And it does go fur distance in. I mean, we've got hawthorn here. You know, we've got thorny trees. Would anyone in the right mind run round here with torches chasing one another at nearly 4:45 in the morning? At this time of year, I say through there is a field, and then we've got more or less what I'm walking through now, going that way, and that's where the fencing is over there. And then it ends, it just goes to what I think is a stream just beyond, and then that's it. No, I don't know what it was. I can't figure that out. I'm going to try and get back to where I were. See, even here, I mean, I can't get through there because of the undergrowth. I've got to go back the way I came. But if I can't do that now, I don't think I could run around here now with holding this in my hand. As you can see in front, I can get back onto the field there. And there's no evidence of anyone camping here unless they were getting up that early in the morning to pack up and they've left no trace. But you can see, the same as me, that I don't think anyone has been in here camping last night. So whatever them lights were moving within the trees and around the trees, because I could actually make out where they were going behind trees and the light was fading, and then, you know, coming into sight again. But two of them running at one point in different directions and then coming together again and fading in and out where trees would be. Very unusual. So now I'm on the opposite side of them woods, and it's not a big woods at all. And there's nowhere, or there's no sign that anyone at all was camping in that area last night. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Not far from home now. The rain's beginning to get a little bit harsher. Got that very fine rain at the moment. You can't really see it on here, but I'm not far from home. Just through the woods in front of me, and then 5-minute walk and I'm home. Been quite a pleasant morning, even though it's been dull and foggy, and I've not been able to do what I wanted to actually do with the camera work. But I did have a very early night last night, so I could get up bright and early this morning. So I'm still ready to get out and do a bit more filming later on to do the Pathfinders project. Get out there, do a bit of dowsing to take us to our next little bit on the video that I'm making at the moment. I'm hoping you'll enjoy that side of things, especially the ones who have been getting in touch by email and talking about ley lines and how I work with them. You'll see on that video that's how we find one place and how we look into the areas of interest we get to when we've found certain places we've come across by using the rods. And what I'll eventually do is, as we go on with this Pathfinders project, is move from dowsing with rods and maybe put a little bit of pendulum dowsing in there, using maps, showing you how I look for certain places on maps using a pendulum, and then going to them places and letting the rods take us on our journey from there. We always find something of interest when doing this. We always come across something that we've never known about until we actually research the area that we go to. We tend to find the area on the map using the pendulum, go into that area, Once we'll get the rods and we'll go out and let the rods take us from one place to another. When we get back, after things have been pointed out to us, we'll look into why the rods have taken us to that certain place. Look into the history, look on the old maps, and more or less, what, 1 out of 3 times we go, we find that there's some sort of ancient burial mound that's pointing us in the direction of another ancient burial mound, which isn't on any new maps, but is on the older maps. So at the moment I'm down, going towards an area where there's a farm, Smithers farm, so they'll be quite busy there this morning because it's a petting farm as well as a working farm. It's where we actually get our milk from, because we tend to go and find all the local areas where we can get our food from rather than supermarket shopping. I do like the idea of helping local businesses out the best I can by using their products. Now in the area of Belmont, we're lucky enough to have a farm shop that we go to and get our food from there. Find it a lot more healthier than supermarket products. I'm hoping this camera's okay. I've just had to swap over because my phone and battery's just gone. So I've gone onto the camera, which I showed you before. The one I did the time lapse on. And I'm walking through the woods now near to my home. I just wanted to see what this looked like as I'm walking along. What sort of picture I'll get. Looking forward to getting back and looking at the time lapse I have done on this camera. See what it looks like. I don't think we're going to see much, only fog getting brighter and the trees becoming more noticeable in the background. The birds in here are happy, they're all tweeting away. Now at the moment I've got it on wide lens. I've got the wide lens on the camera itself, so I'm holding this quite a bit away from myself. I'm hoping to get more use out of this camera, so I'm going to have to get the settings right. I was just messing around with them then, because it was very bright and I looked like a white ghost walking through all these trees a minute ago. So I've dimmed it down, I've put the right resolution to how it should be. This path I'm on is quite dodgy for walking on at this time of year. Lots and lots of puddles, and I've got a steep drop on that side, so I'm being careful how I'm walking at the moment. The colours in here are amazing, with all the leaves dropping. And the water at this point is brown. I suppose that's all the coppers, minerals that are in the water. It seems to be coming here. It's a nice clear colour, and then it comes to this point and you can see where it's coming from underneath and going down the river. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the rain coming through the canopy of trees. I'm quite dry in here at the moment. So it's not been able to do what I wanted to do today, but I think I've done enough. I've enjoyed this little morning stroll. And what I'm going to do now is head off down that path, which will take me home. Thanks for putting it up with a bit of my ramblings earlier on, and thanks for coming along on this little journey this morning. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later on down the road. And I'll definitely have to put it away now, because I've reached a point where it's very muddy and I'm going to have to be careful where I'm walking.